Hey there, everybody. Reed here, conductor at Orchestra Farm. I got a blinky red light. Let me look at that. Well, looks like everything's fine. Anyway, those things happen. I wanted to chat with you today here in beautiful Mowat Park in downtown Salt Spring about freedom. So many ways to interpret freedom. A lot of people think it's just like being able to do what you want when you want to do it. And sure, there's a level of freedom to that. But let's say what you want to do is have a garden, keep some chickens, maybe some pigs, ducks, geese, horses, cows, the list can go on, rabbits. Frankly, if you got those things, you have a lot of obligations. It's not exactly freedom, even though if you could do it, and that's what you want to be doing, that's great, all the more power to you. At the same time, having obligations is different than having freedoms. And you might think, oh, I want to, be a writer. There's a lot of freedom in writing, or a musician, or maybe have a good job that pays you great, because getting all that money and whatever gives you a sense of freedom. Well, I hear all those things, and sure, to some degrees that's true, but I think it actually kind of misses the point. In the same way that, maybe you are indoctrinated into a particular religion or a political group. Well, you might think that you're free to do things under whatever banner that's holding. Well, to a degree. But I would like to put forward the notion that even in any of those cases where you think you have some degree of freedom, that it's not really there. I heard this great podcast, Jordan Harbinger, where they're talking about hacks and the notion that, you could be a musician or an author, and you get great success with a particular kind of book or song or whatever, and then you spend the rest of your life recreating that because that's what your audience wants. Hey, again, all the more power to those people who do that, but is that actual freedom? Not in my opinion. Nothing against that. Freedom is the ability to choose to look into things deeply and to go beyond where your natural boundaries are. What do I mean by that? So I, for instance, have been a musician the majority of my life and love improvising. You have a basic chord structure to a song and you're playing along with that, and maybe you're familiar with blue notes out there. Well, there's other colors of notes and you can put those in there. And when you do that, a lot of people might look at you crossways because you're playing entirely out of key. And, how free does that become? Well, it depends. Are you trapped in the same habitual patterns of doing things, or do you provide yourself space to get outside of those patterns? When you're in kindergarten, they're like, color between the lines. I heard that so freaking much. Jeez. Well, why not color outside the lines? How do you explore freedom? And where are you providing a sense of spaciousness to really go outside your lines, to see where the wilds of the world are? And I'm not saying that creatures in the wild are all that free. I mean, again, there's so many different constraints that happen. I'm not saying that constraints can't bring you freedom. However, there's a lot of ways to go about this. At the same time, sometimes having constraints is what brings you freedom. Again, it all depends on the lens that you're looking through. Oftentimes, there's a bunch of people who seem really free from another person's point of view, and then you go into their life and you realize they're not free at all because their hang-ups, their habitual patterns and habits that they have in their mindset are holding them back. Where are you holding yourself back from experiencing freedom? There's a freedom of breath. Most people only breathe at the top third of their lungs, is what I hear. Imagine that. You have 2/3 of your body that you're not using, that you're not creating the vitality of life through. To me, that's actually what freedom is about. It's about filling your whole vessel with life force, allowing, from my take of view, spirits to come through your being to enliven and expand your senses. It's not quite petrichor right now because the rain was not most recent, but there's still a beautiful scent in the forest here today. It's glistening with this gorgeous diffuse sun because of our cloud-covered skies. How much of your world are you taking in? Like, go ahead, put this, whatever device you're holding right now, down. Even if you're not holding it, turn it off. Go outside, take in the whole environment for a bit. It's a magnificent world out there. Breathe freely. Wow, isn't that a thought? Yeah, to all you cops out there strangling people, go ahead, let them breathe freely for a bit. Seriously, we all need to take the chokehold off. And if you're not a cop, but you're someone out there who's trying to tell other people how to live, maybe you can allow them to experience a bit of freedom for a moment and their own ways of doing things. I know it's a dangerous world out here, and we all might get hit by planes or run over by a pack of dogs, whatever the thing might be that's going to come by and kill us. But I would rather die living a life that has that bit of freedom instead of trying to play it so safe and secure that it's just kind of boring and monotonous. Where's freedom for you? How does it show up? You know, and where are your constraints? Like, I got a bad knee right now. No way I'm going to be running anytime right now. That's just my reality. But it doesn't have to limit my freedom. You know, we can be free in our minds. If you're stuck in a wheelchair, or even if that wheelchair is self-imposed on yourself, your ability to mentally bring yourself into the place that you feel the most vital in your life. That is a practice that you can engage in regardless of, you know, being in your cubicle right now. Take some moments in your day to do that. Enjoy the greater variety of things out there. Let yourself experience some novelty. With that, I should probably let you go. I got kids to pick up. I love that part of my life. Anyway, Reed here, Conductor Orchestra Farm, bendingreeds.com. Check out my stuff. Buy my book. Yeah, that's right, I wrote a book. Dang! Anyway, remember to have too much fun, because that is often, in my opinion, what freedom is about, is allowing that natural fun of life to come through. All the best. Like and subscribe.